Hello and welcome back to Your Brain Lied. Today we're diving into something that's probably affecting you more than you realize, especially if you're navigating the modern work world. We're talking about staying sane in open offices, battling Zoom fatigue, and surviving the pressure cooker of performance culture. It's a lot, right? It feels like we're constantly on, always visible, always available, always needing to prove our worth. And our brains? Well, they weren't exactly designed for this. So let's unpack what's going on, and more importantly, how to reclaim some headspace and sanity. Let's start with open offices. The open office. The promise was collaboration and innovation. The reality? Distraction, sensory overload, and a constant feeling of being watched. Think of your attention like a spotlight. In a quiet, private space, you can focus that spotlight tightly on one task. But in an open office, that spotlight is constantly being nudged, pulled, and scattered by sounds, sights, and the movements of your coworkers. Every conversation, every phone call, every email notification steals a tiny bit of your focus. And here's the kicker. Even when you think you're ignoring those distractions, your brain is still processing them. It's like trying to listen to your favorite song with the radio playing in the background. You can still hear the song, but it's not as clear, and it takes more effort to focus on it. That extra effort is what drains your mental energy over the course of the day. Imagine a software engineer trying to debug a complex piece of code in the middle of all that, or a writer trying to craft a compelling story. It's like asking them to perform brain surgery in a crowded marketplace. So what happens when your attention is constantly fragmented like this? Well, for starters, it impacts your productivity. You might spend more time at your desk, but you're getting less done. You're constantly starting and stopping, trying to regain your train of thought. That's like trying to build a sandcastle, but the tide keeps washing away your progress. Beyond productivity, it also affects your stress levels. That constant awareness of being observed, the feeling that you can't truly relax, it all adds up. Your body stays in a state of low-level alert, which over time can lead to burnout and even physical health problems. It's as if you're a car engine constantly idling, burning fuel without going anywhere. Now let's move on to Zoom fatigue. We've all been there, right? Staring at a screen for hours, attending meeting after meeting, feeling completely drained at the end of the day. But why is video conferencing so much more tiring than, say, a phone call or an in-person meeting? There are a few reasons. First, video calls require sustained attention. We're constantly monitoring our own image, making sure we look presentable and engaged. We're also trying to interpret the facial expressions and body language of everyone else on the screen. It's like being an actor in a play, and the audience, and the director, and the stage manager all at once. Second, video calls reduce our nonverbal cues. In a face-to-face conversation, we rely on subtle cues like shifts in posture, hand gestures, and eye contact to understand what someone is saying. On video, these cues are often diminished or distorted, which means we have to work harder to process the information. It's like trying to read a book with half the words missing. Third, video calls create a sense of hyper-awareness. We're constantly aware that we're being watched, which can lead to feelings of self-consciousness and anxiety. It's like giving a presentation to a room full of people, except the people are always right in front of your face, even when you're not talking. Consider a marketing team brainstorming ideas for a new campaign. In a physical room, they might move around, doodle on a whiteboard, and engage in side conversations. On Zoom, they're confined to their screens, forced to maintain eye contact, and expected to stay focused at all times. The lack of natural movement and interaction can stifle creativity and lead to mental exhaustion. So Zoom fatigue isn't just about being on a screen for too long. It's about the unique demands that video conferencing places on our attention and our social processing skills. It's about the way it distorts and intensifies our interactions, leaving us feeling drained and disconnected. Finally, let's tackle performance culture. This is the idea that our worth is determined by our productivity and our achievements. It's the constant pressure to be on, to be productive, to be successful. Performance culture seeps into every corner of our lives, from our careers to our hobbies to our social media feeds. We're bombarded with messages that tell us we need to be constantly improving, constantly striving for more. It's like running on a treadmill that never stops. And here's the problem. When our worth is tied to our performance, we become afraid of failure. We start to avoid challenges, to play it safe, to prioritize quantity over quality. We become so focused on the outcome that we lose sight of the process. Imagine a young entrepreneur launching a new startup. They're under immense pressure to succeed, to raise funding, to attract customers. They work long hours, sacrifice their personal lives, and constantly compare themselves to other entrepreneurs who seem to be doing better. The fear of failure can become paralyzing, leading to anxiety, depression, and burnout. Performance culture also creates a sense of isolation. We become so focused on our own goals and achievements that we forget to connect with others. We see our colleagues as competition rather than collaborators. We lose sight of the importance of community and support. It's like being a lone wolf, constantly hunting for success, but never finding true connection. And it messes with our sense of self. We start to believe that we are only as good as our last achievement. Our self-worth becomes contingent on external validation rather than internal satisfaction. We forget that we are valuable, unique, and worthy of love and belonging, regardless of our performance. So, how do we stay sane in this environment? How do we protect our mental health in the face of open offices, Zoom fatigue, and performance culture? First, let's talk about reclaiming your attention. This is about taking control of your focus and minimizing distractions. In the open office, that might mean investing in noise-canceling headphones, using a physical do not disturb sign, or finding a quiet corner where you can work without interruption. It's also about setting boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no to meetings that aren't essential or to block out time in your calendar for focused work. Remember, your time is valuable, and you have the right to protect it. It's like building a fence around your mental garden to keep out the weeds. When it comes to Zoom fatigue, the key is to take breaks. Get up and move around, stretch your legs, look away from the screen. Schedule shorter meetings, or even better, suggest that some meetings be replaced with email updates or phone calls. And don't be afraid to turn off your camera sometimes. It's okay to give yourself a break from being constantly on. It's like letting your eyes rest after staring at a bright light. Beyond the practical, there are mental strategies to manage. One of the most powerful is mindfulness. This is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing your thoughts and feelings without getting carried away by them. Mindfulness can help you to become more aware of your distractions, your stress levels, and your emotional reactions. It can also help you to develop a greater sense of calm and focus. It's like being the captain of your ship, calmly navigating the waves of your thoughts and emotions. Another key strategy is self-compassion. This is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. It's about recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, everyone struggles, and everyone deserves to be loved and accepted. Self-compassion can help you to challenge the negative self-talk that fuels performance anxiety. It can also help you to bounce back from setbacks and to learn from your mistakes. It's like giving yourself a warm hug when you're feeling down. Finally, it's important to cultivate a sense of purpose and meaning beyond your work. Find activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or volunteering for a cause you care about. It's like planting seeds of happiness in your life that will blossom even when work is stressful. Remember, your worth is not determined by your productivity or your achievements. You are valuable, unique, and worthy of love and belonging, regardless of your performance. And you are definitely more than what you produce in a day, even if you are in open offices, Zooming daily, and performing like everyone is watching. So here are a few things to think about this week, just to get you started. First, consider one small boundary you can set at work to protect your time and attention. Maybe it's blocking out an hour for focused work, or maybe it's saying no to a meeting that you don't need to attend. What's one small step you can take to reclaim your headspace? Second, think about one thing you enjoy doing outside of work that brings you joy and fulfillment. When was the last time you did that thing? Schedule some time for it this week. And third, Reflect on a time when you were particularly critical of yourself. What would you say to a friend in that situation? Can you offer yourself the same kindness and understanding? That's it for today's episode of Your Brain Lied. I hope you found this helpful. Remember, you're not alone in this. We're all navigating these challenges together. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.